I had heard about this Caitlin Clark, and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging a million in high school. And I was like, oh, this girl thinks she's gonna come here and rule the world, you know, like whatever.
Before anyone knew her name, Caitlin Clark was already a legend in the making. Videos of her high school games circulated endlessly online. She was scoring 40 points in a single game, breaking records, dominating her competition like a force of nature. I remember watching her highlights for the first time and thinking, this girl thinks she's going to rule the world. She's going to come in and bend everything to her will. It was hard not to be skeptical. High school stars rarely transition smoothly to the next level. But then she arrived at Iowa, and everything changed. Caitlin wasn't just good, she was unstoppable. She ruled the court, she ruled the headlines, and suddenly, every opponent knew her name. But there was someone quietly moving in tandem with her. Someone whose brilliance didn't scream for attention, but whose presence was impossible to ignore. Kate Martin. Kate didn't need to score 40 points in a game to prove her worth. She built her influence differently, through intelligence, precision, and trust. She became the foundation on which Caitlin's brilliance could shine. Where Caitlin was fireworks, Kate was the engine powering them. Kate's journey at Iowa started with promise, but promise alone doesn't capture the full story. She wasn't a bench warmer or a secondary figure. She was a leader in her own right. Her statistics, over 13 points per game and nearly 7 rebounds, weren't just numbers. They were evidence of her ability to elevate everyone around her. Every pass, every screen, every defensive rotation carried intention, strategy, and leadership. Beyond the court, Kate and Caitlin changed the culture of Iowa women's basketball. Carver Hawkeye Arena, once a quiet venue, transformed into a battlefield every game. Fans packed the stands, not for hype or media attention, but to witness a team performing at its peak. These weren't just games, they were spectacles. And in every spectacle, Kate's quiet intelligence guided the chaos. She wasn't chasing the spotlight, she was making the spotlight meaningful. This wasn't just a story about one superstar, it was a story about a partnership that would redefine what women's basketball could be. An alliance of trust, skill, and unspoken understanding. Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark weren't just teammates. They were the architects of a new era. Watching Kate and Caitlin together was like witnessing a perfectly choreographed performance. Caitlin's aggressive scoring and viral moments drew the headlines. But Kate's influence? Subtle, yet all-encompassing. Every play she touched carried purpose, shaping outcomes behind the scenes. Kate's numbers spoke for themselves, but her leadership extended far beyond what statistics could measure. She wasn't simply contributing points or rebounds. She was orchestrating. She was managing space, creating opportunities, and elevating her teammates at every turn. The Hawkeyes were not a team built on one superstar. They were a system, a living, breathing entity, where Kate was the central nervous system. Her teammates recognized it immediately. "She's the calm in the storm," Caitlin would later say. "She's the one who keeps us grounded when everything is moving at 100 miles an hour." And it was true. While Caitlin dazzled with highlight reel plays, Kate's presence ensured that those moments were sustainable, repeatable, and impactful. She was the invisible force making greatness look effortless. It wasn't just leadership, it was telepathy. Kate anticipated Caitlin's movements before they happened. She knew when to crash the boards for a missed three, when to cut off lanes, when to rotate defensively. Caitlin, in turn, instinctively found Kate for passes that unlocked opportunities for the entire team. They weren't just teammates, they were an ecosystem, and the results were undeniable. Iowa's dominance on the court wasn't built on raw talent alone. It was built on trust, synergy, and mutual understanding. Every game became a testament to their chemistry. A reminder that basketball is more than athleticism. It's intelligence, intuition, and unspoken communication. The years 2023 and 2024 weren't just milestones. They were transformative chapters in the careers of Kate and Caitlin. Every basketball fan remembers Caitlin's explosive scoring, dropping 40 points, breaking records, capturing the world's attention. But the deeper story lies in the orchestration behind the scenes, in the silent leadership of Kate Martin. Take the iconic upset against the undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks. On paper, it was a David versus Goliath story. On the court, it was Kate Martin orchestrating every move, communicating, cutting off lanes, boxing out, setting screens. She was everywhere. When Caitlin needed space to create, Kate made it happen. When teammates faltered under pressure, Kate steadied them. Her leadership wasn't flashy, but it was decisive. It was incredible, Kate recalled. We all believed we could make it, and when we executed our game plan perfectly, it felt like we'd created something bigger than ourselves. That moment wasn't just a victory. It was the defining chapter of her career. It was proof that leadership, trust, and selfless play could achieve what raw talent alone could not. Kate didn't just play basketball, she conducted it. Every assist, every defensive stop, every screen was a note in a symphony of teamwork. And the world finally saw it, not in the highlights, but in the flow of the game, in the cohesion, in the quiet but undeniable command of a player who knew how to win without needing to dominate headlines. College success had made her confident. She thought her skill, IQ, and work ethic would translate seamlessly to the WNBA. But Las Vegas had other plans. Drafted by the Aces, Kate entered a world defined by hierarchy and star power. Veterans like Aja Wilson and Chelsea Gray controlled the minutes, leaving rookies like Kate to watch from the sidelines. Opportunities were rare, and patience was tested to the extreme. Her minutes plummeted. From a respectable 20 per game in May, she fell to just 11.5 by September. Points, rebounds, impact, all diminished. And it wasn't because of a lack of talent. Every missed minute, every practice spent running scout drills was a reminder that her dream was slipping away. It was hard, Kate admitted. It's not that I wasn't capable, it's that there wasn't room. There are only 12 spots, and I wasn't in the plan. By playoff time, the reality was devastating. 6 games, 3 minutes. 3. A year of hard work had seemingly vanished in an instant. The WNBA wasn't just testing her skills, it was testing her patience, her resilience, her identity as a basketball player. And in that environment, every action on the court felt like a message. Every time she sat, every time she watched, the message was clear. In Vegas, Kate Martin wasn't essential. She was invisible. At her lowest point, sitting on the Las Vegas Aces bench, Kate Martin felt the weight of her career slipping through her fingers. Minutes were scarce, opportunities rarer still, and the confidence she had built over years of hard work at Iowa seemed to crumble with every game she watched from the sideline. It was a lonely, frustrating place, a stark contrast to the court where she had once thrived. And in that darkness, she did what she had always done when clarity was needed. She reached out to the one person who truly understood her journey, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, herself adjusting to the punishing pace, speed, and physicality of the WNBA, listened intently. Then came the words that would shift everything. You're not failing. They're failing you. That simple, piercing sentence reframed Kate's entire perspective. It wasn't a condemnation of her skills or effort. It was an affirmation of her value, a reminder that sometimes the obstacle isn't talent or drive, it's environment. Leaving Las Vegas wasn't giving up. It was a conscious, brave decision to bet on herself, to seek a place where her abilities, her leadership, and her character would be truly seen and valued. When the Golden State Valkyries selected her in the expansion draft, it wasn't just another roster move. It was a lifeline, a chance to reinvent, to start fresh, and to define her legacy on her own terms. Kate described the moment as pure excitement, the kind of exhilaration that comes from knowing you've been recognized, not only for your skill but for the intangible qualities that make a team succeed: resilience, intelligence, and heart. Arriving in the Bay Area, Kate finally discovered what Vegas had withheld: a team culture that nurtured her strengths, celebrated her leadership, and allowed her to thrive. The Valkyries were not a hierarchy dominated by stars, They were a culture built on chemistry, trust, and collective growth. Every player understood that their value wasn't measured by stats alone, but by how they lifted one another. Here was the environment Kate had longed for, a place where her work ethic, intelligence, and quiet leadership could not just survive, they could flourish. Setting the stage for a career reborn, Coach Natalie Nass immediately recognized Kate's value. Her system emphasized effort, communication, and strategic thinking over raw stats. Mistakes weren't punished. They were opportunities to learn. Complacency, however, was unacceptable. Kate's natural leadership fit seamlessly into this philosophy. She became the anchor of the team's culture, the steady hand guiding her teammates through adversity, the quiet force behind every successful play, the glue that transformed a brand-new franchise into a coherent, confident unit. The fans quickly noticed her influence too. Home games became electric, charged with energy that seemed to mirror Kate's own intensity and focus. Loud, engaged, and relentless, the crowd cheered not only for points scored, but for the grit, the hustle, and the selfless plays that defined her style. Even when the team fell behind, the fans stayed until the final buzzer, embracing the spirit Kate brought to the court. Kate wasn't just playing basketball anymore. She was shaping a franchise from the ground up. Every rebound, every defensive rotation, every perfectly timed pass became a declaration. This is how we build something lasting. She turned every moment on the court into a statement of intent, proving that leadership and impact go far beyond individual stats. In Golden State, Kate Martin had finally found her stage, and she was ready to command it. Kate's leadership style is deceptively simple: trust, communication, and relationship building. But what looks simple on the surface is, in reality, a masterclass in influence and presence. She doesn't just talk the talk, she lives it every single day. Off the court, she invests time in her teammates, learning who they are, understanding their motivations, and building bonds that extend far beyond basketball. These relationships aren't casual, they're intentional, strategic, and rooted in a deep respect for every individual. Because when players trust each other off the court, that trust translates directly into performance on it. Kate doesn't chase stats. She doesn't need the highlight reel to validate her worth. Her impact is measured in moments that often go unnoticed by the cameras. The perfectly timed screen that opens space for a teammate's shot. The defensive rotation that stops a fast break. The rebound that keeps the offense alive. Every action is purposeful, every choice calculated to elevate those around her. She doesn't seek headlines. She creates an environment where greatness can flourish, and the results speak for themselves. The Golden State Valkyries didn't just gain a skilled player, they gained a leader capable of shaping the team's very DNA. From day one, she instilled a culture of accountability, unselfishness, and relentless effort. Every practice, every game, every conversation reinforced the message. Excellence isn't about individual glory, it's about the collective. And Kate Martin is the blueprint for that vision. She proves that influence isn't measured by points alone. It's measured by the legacy you leave in the hearts and minds of your teammates. From the highs of Iowa to the lows of Vegas, Kate's story is one of resilience. Every setback, every minute on the bench, every sign of frustration became a lesson. She didn't just survive adversity, she used it to grow stronger. Golden State offered her a blank canvas, a chance to prove that environment shapes opportunity. And Kate seized it. She's not just back. She's better, smarter, and more influential than ever. Her story is a testament to perseverance, trust, and belief in one's own worth. Next time you see Kate Martin wearing that Valkyries jersey, remember what it took to get there. Every bench minute, every setback, every frustrating practice, every moment she doubted herself, every phone call, every choice to bet on herself, every single step built this moment. It wasn't just talent that brought her here. It was resilience, determination, and an unwavering belief that her work and her leadership mattered. The highs of Iowa, the crushing lows of Vegas, and the moment she realized that sometimes the smartest move is to leave a place that doesn't see your worth. All of that culminates in this new chapter. This isn't just a comeback story. It's a blueprint for courage, self-belief, and leadership. It's proof that your environment can either bury you or lift you higher, and that recognizing your value and choosing the right place to grow can redefine a career. Kate Martin didn't just reclaim her dream, she reinvented it, so show your support. Type Golden State Kate in the comments, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications to follow her journey. Watch every hustle, every rebound, every pass, and every moment she continues to prove that real ones never stop betting on themselves. Kate Martin is living proof that perseverance, faith, and courage can transform setbacks into triumphs, and she's only getting started.